Hi everyone, Jim here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I got a few things I want to talk to you about today, just a bit of an update, and I also wanted to give you the results of the Wasted Weekend vote that I did a couple of videos back. I think I gave one of the books a little of an unfair advantage. There was only one book that I read the synopsis for, and that was The Trailsman, Rocky Mountain Nightmare. So I think I kind of swayed the vote a little bit because this one got more votes than any of the other ones. I think I got 8 votes, and the others got 5 votes, 3 votes, 2 votes. I think Daredevil only got 1 vote, and that was Michael K. Vaughan. But yeah, so this is the one I will be reading for the Wasted Weekend, which falls on February 15th. So yeah, I should be able to read that in like a day. It's a quick short book, but it looks very cool actually, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. I tried to read one of these years ago and I didn't like the way it started out, so I kind of put that one aside, but I know there's very many different authors who write these books, so this one looks intriguing and I'm kind of looking forward to reading it. So I finished reading The Fifth Heart. Didn't take me long to read it. I wanted to rally on through it and get it done. It was, I enjoyed it, but there was parts that, as I said in my last video, that kind of lost me. And Dan Simmons was able to keep me coming back to it to want to finish it. But I think overall it was kind of a disappointing book. And it's really hard to put my finger on as to the reason why. I mean, there's many reasons, none that I really want to delve into right now because, I've got a whole bunch of other stuff to do right now. But I mean, it's not a book I would recommend, especially to somebody who's reading a Sherlock Holmes pastiche for the first time. So we'll leave it at that for now. But I've got her done anyway. And I finished, actually just today, I started this last night when I went to bed, and I finished it about noonish today, The Valley of Fear by Arthur Conan Doyle. And this is the last Sherlock Holmes novel that he wrote. And I had read it once before, ages ago, and I didn't remember much about it, to be honest. But I read through it today, and I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, the Sherlock Holmes, like the mystery part in the first half of the book was very kind of satisfying. It was well done. And then the second half of the book gets into like a Western kind of thriller kind of thing to do with the events from the first half of the book. So it was actually really enjoyable. And I don't know where I'd put it on the scale of which one I would like better. It's probably still on the lower end because I do enjoy A Study in Scarlet because of it's the first Sherlock Holmes story, and Sign of the Four was an exciting story. Hound of the Baskervilles, I mean, there's enough said about that. So it's still an enjoyable book, but still probably the least enjoyable novel out of the 4. So that one's done. That was for the first week of Holmes is Where the Heart Is, for the week 1 prompt of reading one of the long novels. So that's done. Now, I've got quite a few books to show you for a book haul. Now this is going to be over a span of maybe 3 or 4 book hauls that I've had very recently, and there's actually too many books to show probably in one video, so I'm going to try to keep it down to just a few, but there's a lot here, and I kind of wanted to share them with you guys here today. So yeah, let's just get started on them. I'll just kind of go through them real quick and maybe mention a little bit about each book. I don't know, but these are all mostly from thrift stores. Like all these are from thrift stores except for a few that I got at that I bought brand new at Indigo just yesterday, as a matter of fact. So here we have Zanzibar Intrigue by Van Wyck Mason, and this is Colonel Hugh North adventure. And this is about the 4th or 5th now that I have in my collection, and I was kind of happy to find this one to add to my collection for, to add to the rest of them that I have. I have The Great Time Machine Hoax by Keith Laumer. This is a very cool cover there. I mean, a dinosaur is always a good thing on a cover. I got 4 Marion Zimmer Bradley books from the Darkover series, and 3 of them are Daw books, and one of them is an Ace paperback. So there's the first one. That's a pretty thick one, and I've never read her before, and I think there's probably some scandal involved with her, if I'm remembering correctly, but as far as I know, she's still a popular writer. And there is the Star of Danger, and here we have The Forbidden Tower. This is a Daw book. And then we finally have Two to Conquer, a Darkover novel, and that's another Daw book. So these are, I couldn't, let them stay there. I had to pick them up, and when I get to it, I'll get to it. I'll get around to reading them. The thing is, I have so many books now that I know that I'm never going to be able to read them, in my lifetime. But the thing is, there's a variety of books that I can choose from. And that's the good thing. I mean, whatever I'm in the mood to read, I can go to my shelves and I can pick wherever I feel like at the time. So eventually, I will get to all these books. They're on, a TBR of some sort, but not to be read immediately, if that makes any sense. So I ordered another. I got this online, a Mike Shane novel. It was one that was kind of missing in my books. I'm going to have to go back through them one of these days and show you all my Mike Shane books. But that's kind of a cool cover, and I love this font in these specific editions. And as I said, these books are all kind of mixed up from different book hauls I've done recently. Now, when I did June on the Range, I talked about these books. These are anthology books called The Best of the West, and I had this copy already, but the one I had a crease right here. So I bought one that's in much better shape, and I also found one that I didn't have called The Outlaws, and this is part of the series, the Best of the West series. And when they say the Best of the West, they're not kidding. These are outstanding stories. Really, really good. I mean, these are the best Western writers out there, and these are all edited by Bill Pronzini and Martin H. Greenberg, and I trust both of them to know what they're doing when they choose these stories. This one, for instance, The Outlaws, has stories by O. Henry, Frank Gruber, Max Brand, Ernest Hay Cox, W.R. Burnett, Clay Fisher, McKinley Cantor, Bill Pronzini, Steve Frazee. These are awesome books, and I think there's 11 in this series. I have 3 of them now, and I'm going to keep my eye out for the rest of these. Really, really good. If you're into Westerns, these are outstanding stories. Now, I have a few more Westerns, which I found at the thrift store the other day. Here we have The Killer from Yuma by Louis B. Patton. And we have an Ernest Haycox one called Trail Smoke. I was very happy to find these books. Here's an Amos Flagg book by Clay Randall. Amos Flagg Has His Day. And I had an Amos Flagg years ago. I don't have it anymore, so I was happy to find that one. And here we have one of Max Brand's better-known books. This is Destry Rides Again, and I think there's been a movie or two based on this, but that's one of his better-known works. So I couldn't leave that one behind. There was lots of Max Brand there at the store, but this is just the only one I picked up. Maybe I'll go back and grab some more, but yeah, that's I was happy to find that one with that awesome cover. And this next one I was unsure about. This is by John S. Daniels, The Day the Killers Came. And it's got a very spaghetti western vibe to the cover. And this is by Belmont Tower Books, which were well known for doing kind of pulpy books. stories. So this one looked kind of cool, a little intriguing, and I'm curious to see if this one's any good. It sounds pretty good when I read the synopsis on it, so I was happy to find that. Then we have a book by Jonathan Kellerman, who I've never read before, but this book was there. It's called When the Bow Breaks, and so yeah, I thought I'd pick this one up. It's regarded as an engrossing thriller, and I've heard a lot of good things about Jonathan Kellerman, so I thought I'd take a chance and pick this one up. Fairly big novel. I think it was written in the 80s, 1986. So yeah, that looked pretty good, actually. Got another Ross MacDonald Lou Archer novel with that style of cover, The Far Side of the Dollar. And I'm trying to get all of the copies with these covers, and I'm getting there. I have quite a few of them now. But Lou Archer's always good value for your money. Ross MacDonald's a good writer, and I enjoy the Lou Archer series very much. And then I have these two I couldn't leave behind at the store. These are Xena Warrior Princess books, adaptations of the show, The Empty Throne and The Huntress and the Sphinx. And these are both written by Rue Emerson. So yeah, I have a Hercules novel that I got quite a while back too. So these will go with the Hercules novel. So that's kind of cool. I bought this used at the store. I brought this home, called The Breath of God by Guy Adams, another one of these Sherlock Holmes books by Titan Books, and I think these are commissioned new for these specific copies, as opposed to the reprinted ones with the other covers. But yeah, so I was happy to find that. That adds another to my collection. And this one's interesting. This is called Lestrade and the Magpie, and this is by M.J. Trow. And it's just what you'd think. It's Inspector Lestrade solving a mystery. And I think this is later on in their career. I think it takes place in the 20s, I think. And it also involves his daughter. Inspector Lestrade has a daughter. And so I'm actually really interested to read this and see if it's any good. It's part of a series, apparently. The first one is The Adventures of Inspector Lestrade, and then Brigade, Lestrade and the Hallowed House, Lestrade and the Guardian Angel. So, if it's any good, I might have to look for the rest of them. And that's in a nice hardcover volume. So I was happy to find that one. Now we get to the new books that I bought yesterday when I went to Indigo Books. And I got another Sherlock Holmes book in paperback. This was $7, and I don't think I have the case book in a separate paperback edition. I think only in the collected editions. I could be wrong. But yeah, this was just a nice looking paperback by Collins Classics. And I already reread one. I've read them all. But, and I'd forgotten the one story in here, the Mazarin Stone. From what I remember, it's the only Sherlock Holmes story that was told in the third person. It wasn't narrated by Sherlock Holmes or narrated by Watson. It was told in the third person, which was interesting. But yeah, when you read it, it kind of throws you off a little bit because you're used to, Watson's voice, right? But yeah, so I picked that one up for $7. Why not? And I got this trade paperback, Conan, Blood of the Serpent by S.M. Sterling. Now, this is the first Conan pastiche that had been written for quite a while, and it came out last year, I think, or a couple of years ago. 2023, yeah, this is Titan Books again. So, and I've heard some pretty good things about it, so I thought I'd pick it up. And that's got a very neat cover on it. And then we have another Sherlock Holmes book in these Titan book volumes, The Monster of the Mere by Philip Purser Hallard. And this might have a supernatural element to it, but I was happy to add another one of these to the collection. And then last but not least, I got the latest issue of Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine, and appropriately enough, it talks about the birthday of Sherlock Holmes. And it's their 1000th issue. that they're celebrating. So that was kind of an appropriate find, and I always try to pick these up when I can. And I was, I'll be reading some of those probably tonight. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick update on a Sunday afternoon. I mean, why not? I figured I'd do a quick update for you, and I hope everybody is reading lots of Sherlock Holmes, and you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. You guys take care, and I will be posting another Sherlock Holmes video very soon, so stay tuned for that. Take care and keep reading.